Key. I'm sorry if I pronounce your name wrong. I do apologize. So before we take a group photo, let me start by welcoming you to the parallel session 2, room 7, and tourism in the era of industrial revolution. And so today we have 5 papers. Okay. And so just some other housekeeping. Please turn off your microphone, unless you have a questions, or you can also ask by typing in the chat box, okay? And all right, and also each presenter will be given 10 minutes for presentation plus 5 minutes for question and answer. All right. So so we hope that I hope that we will have the productive session this morning. But before we get started, can I ask everybody to turn on your camera so that we can take a group photo before we begin? Thank you very much. Okay, can I ask every presenter to turn on your camera so that we can take a group photo? Thank you. I'm not sure whether the two. Okay, Amaru is the co-chair, but what about the another presenter? Okay, all right. So, okay. Okay, do you want to take one more? Okay, 3, 2, 1. Okay, all right. So thank you very much. So we will get started, and so I'm excited to talk to you today, and so I'm gonna get started. We have 5 papers today, as I said earlier, but the first paper will be my paper. Okay, so let me share my screen. Okay. All right. Can everybody see my screen? Yes. Okay. All right. Can anybody tell me whether can you see my screen? Just to
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
All right.
Clear.
All right. Thank you very much. Because I don't use Google Meet a lot. I usually use Zoom or Microsoft Teams. Okay. So I have 10 minutes. My term starts now. Okay. So good morning, everybody. My name is Kom once again from the College of Innovation from Thammasat University in Thailand, and today I would like to present to you about my paper on applying a travel tech business model canvas for smart tourism in Thailand. And so first, let me talk about the problem statement. Now, this day, as you know, the theme of the conference today is smart tourism. So what is actually smart tourism? Now, it's all about, try to get a higher connectivity for the tourists, try to get them stay connected, through applications or, mobile platform or so on. Try to get tourists to, have a high interaction with their experience, try to personalize their trip, and also try to, co-create as well, get the tourists to, try to get the tourists to design their own travel experience. Okay. And so and that is why, as the technology has been getting more advanced, it's really important for smart tourism destination to adapt or design their product and services to meet the tourist needs. Now, for Thailand, for example, we also aim for our country or our tourist attraction to become more towards smart tourism. And so we try to enhance a lot of our facilities, but still, it's still a long way to go. We still cannot fully call smart tourism destination just yet. Okay, but hopefully soon in the future. So that's why the tourism organization or stakeholders will need to concentrate their business model on trying to customize travel experience using some of the tourism technology. So let's have a look at a quick statistics about Thailand ranking. This is from the World Economic Forum. And overall, Thailand ranked 31st out of 140 countries worldwide. So our ranking has been increased just a bit, but still, not very high. So we rank 14 in terms of tourist service infrastructure. Like airports, some of the um, transportation. Okay, to and from the airport. Um, and we rank 22nd for air transport infrastructure. We rank 25th in terms of price competitiveness. So you can see that in terms of price, Thailand ranked uh, quite high, quite okay, because when compared with traveling to Maldives or Hawaii, for example, Thailand offer a better price competitiveness, which means it's more affordable, and it's tourists from the US, Australia, Europe, for example, they can spend more in Thailand because things are more affordable than other destinations that could be more expensive. Now, but in terms of ICT or information communication technology, we rank 49th, and that's quite low, and that's because we need to develop more infrastructure for tourists, like Wi-Fi or using big data to analyze tourist behavior, for example. But the most concern is the safety and security. That's ranked like below 100. So we need to improve that safety image of the country. Otherwise, no matter like how smart the destination is, people will not come to Thailand. Okay, so we need to look at that as well. So that's a brief picture about the smart tourism in Thailand. So the objective of this paper is to try to apply the travel tech business model for smart tourism in Thailand. Okay, so um, uh, so the aim is basically, if the tourism destination in Thailand will try to become a smart tourism, then what are the business model that they can apply, basically? Okay, so the aim of this paper is try to propose, the travel tech business model that the smart tourism destination in Thailand can apply, if they want to become more advanced in terms of smart tourism. And so we have adopted the business model canvas concept, or the BMC. Okay. All right. So I'll skip this one. This is basically talk about some of the literature that have been discussed recently, like especially like Professor Buhalis. He's the expert in smart tourism. Okay. So for business model canvas, focus on these components. So the first one on the top left corner, that's key partner. Okay, so when you come up with the business model, in general, you have to consider who's going to be your key stakeholders, right? Who's going to be the one that you have to rely on, and then you discuss about some of the key activities, or basically what's your product. Key resources, which resources are required in order to provide such as product or service to the customer or tourist. What's your value proposition? Why do we need to use your service, or why do we need to come to Thailand, for example? Customer relationship, how do we keep relationship with the customers? Channels, how do we communicate with our customers? Customer segments, who they are, where they're from, for example. And then in the bottom on the left, we have cost structure. So these are basically what are the expenses that your business or your destination needs to operate. And on the right is the opposite. What's the revenue what's the revenue model that you can gain from getting from running your smart tourism business. So about methodology, the target population were stakeholders in smart tourism in Thailand, like the government, travel tech, or tourism startup we call travel tech, and also a startup association, like association that try to promote startup companies. For sampling method, I've used the purposive sampling, and we got respondents from 6 government agencies, 2 startup accelerator, or we can call incubator, 1 consultancy company, and 12 tourism startup companies. And that data was collected in 2019 using in-depth interview. Okay, so before I start with the result of my study, I want to show you that from my interview, I found that there are already a lot of tourism startups or startup companies that have been operating in Thailand. For example, if you look at pre-trip or before tourists traveling to Thailand, there are a lot of travel tech. Sorry, when I said travel tech, I mean like tourism startup companies or startup company that provide service to tourism industry. Like for example, before you come to Thailand, you can use Golf Dig application to book your golf session. We have some of the tour company that you can pre-book your activity. For example, you can pre-book your bus or pre-book your activity like cooking or cultural sightseeing, for example. And then once the tourists come to Thailand during the trip, there are more travel tech company that provide service to customer. For example, some of them provide financial service that tourists doesn't need to pay by cash. Some of them provide some activity. Some of them it's very unique. Like the company called Take Me Tour or Local Alike, as you can see on my screen. These are the 2 companies that they really get the local people to provide the tourism service or tourism activity for them. Okay, so these companies, they do not use professional tour guide. They use the local people, like you and me or anybody who would like to provide, an experience for the tourists and so on. So right now, there's already a lot of travel tech company that provide service for the tourism industry in Thailand. Like this company I have already mentioned, this company is called Local Alike. So they actually provide a platform connecting the tourists and local communities. So they would work with the locals to come up with the travel experience, like what you can see on my screen. So let's talk about result of this paper. I have about 5 minutes left because I started yeah, okay, hang on. So okay, so let's talk about some of the travel tech business model canvas. And so okay, sorry, when I share my screen, I don't see the message, so I'm not sure whether I'm out of time or not. So hang on. Okay, let me continue. So for my research, I found that based on my interview, these are some of the findings. But first of all, in the tourism travel tech in Thailand, the key players or partner are business that are in the tourism industry, like transportation, hotels, and so on. For partners, we need to partner with online travel agencies like Agoda, travel agents, university, and so on. For key activity, mainly for travel tech company, they provide like a tour, a customized tour, for example. For key resources, to be able to provide the service, we need a tour guide, staff, and for required resource, we need a venture capital or money, basically. And for value proposition is that why do you need to come to Thailand for your smart tourism world? That is because we can provide a very customized experience. A lot of companies work with local communities, like what I mentioned earlier, so that can provide a very unique experience for the customer. So in terms of customer relations, of course, tourists can review their experience on the platform. For channels, tourists can we can communicate through tourists by a number of channels, like through OTA or websites or social media. For customer segment, for travel tech, it's very unique. Usually FIT or free independent tourists. Okay, for cost structure, of course, to be able to run the travel tech, you need to develop your platform. You have to pay for the salary and so on. For revenue, you gain revenue from your travel package basically, and sometimes you get commissions from the hotel because some hotel might recommend your service to their customer. Okay, so I'm not sure how much time I have left. So to summarize, okay, travel tech main customer are FIT, okay, and secondly, the key activity for travel tech is that mainly like a one-day tour. Because if you see in my picture below, you can see that, for example, the tourists book for 5-day trips, right? Now, day 1, day 2, day 3, and day 5, they might be using a tour company. But day 4, maybe they want something more customized, something more unique to them, right? Because for a group tour, you cannot really customize for every tourist, right? Everybody go using the same agenda or tour package. But for one-day trip, for example, a lot of tourists use travel tech in Thailand to customize their travel experience. And so, okay, of course, there are some research limitation, and in order to improve for the future studies, I'd like to recommend the following directions. Firstly, we should measure the strength or limitation of the travel tech business model canvas. Okay, for example, maybe ask stakeholder to comment on these business model canvas and see what are the comments. Secondly, comparing travel tech business model canvas between Thailand and other countries, like Malaysia, for example. And thirdly, examining the perceived value proposition for travel tech. Try to see whether how the tourists actually perceive the value, right? Do they agree with the model in this business model? Okay. Sorry, am I talking too fast? Sorry. Okay, so let me see. So I think that's the end of my presentation. All right, so thank you very much. Do you have any questions? Okay, so Amiru just reminded me that 2 minutes left. So I guess I finished before time. Sorry, when I share the screen on Google Meet, I cannot see I cannot see the chat box, so I was worried that I'm gonna talk too long. Okay, so Catherine, have a questions, please?
Yes. Good morning, doctor. Let me open my video.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, thank you for sharing about Converse proposal using the Converse business. In fact, can you hear me?
Yes, but maybe could you speak a little louder?
Yeah.
Okay.
Actually, when you start to open this business model with Converse, in fact, I'm just learning about it a few months ago. But you are more to tourism, and just now you are saying tourists or the hotel can engage the local without the tour guide.
Mhm.
But how a hotel know the other people without the tour guide? There must be a tour guide or somebody have to recommend to them to bring them a customized. Because myself, also from a tour guide.
Mhm.
As well, I'm also doing my own customized to the longhouse. I'm indigenous from Sarawak. So I also doing the same thing. But your business model, I don't know about other people, but since I learned it about a few months ago, it was really a good startup. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much, Catherine.
Yeah.
So the tour guide are still important. In my screen here, I gave example of like if tourists come from Thailand for come to Thailand for like 5 days trip, maybe for 4 days they use like group tour, but for one day they use like a customized travel. And the way it works is very special because those tourism startup, they work with local communities to design the package, and so the revenue stream also very different because the community will earn most of that money and less on the tourism startup. So it's a little bit like sustainability CSR thing. So actually in Thailand, a lot of people still wonder whether this would be a good business model or not. We're still not sure. Yeah.
to answer you on that, I don't know for other people, but what I can answer for myself, that is one of the good model. It's not because you don't earn much, but in fact you are helping the community to grow
Mm,
as well.
yeah,
You
yeah,
see, yeah,
true.
I'm also doing customized for especially for Europeans.
Mm,
Mm,
okay,
yeah.
thank you very
Yeah.
much, Catherine.
Thank you. Yeah.
Thank you. Okay, we have another question from Frank Hesley,
Yes,
please.
good morning, Professor Com.
Good morning.
Yeah, I have two questions. My first question, by referring to your business model in the perspective of Thailand, do you think the key partners are ready to invest more in the technology? I mean, as for now, we knew that people are moving into online, but are they ready to invest more? Right. My
Y-
second question, yeah.
sorry, could you speak a little louder? Sorry. Yeah.
Okay. The question is, by referring to your business model canvas in the perspective of Thailand, do you think the key partners are ready to invest more in the technology-based company startup? Okay. My second question, in your in-depth interview, did you encounter any key partners who are still favor traditional approach in managing their business, their tourism business?
Okay. Uh, Thank you very much for the first question. I think for investment, for my interview, a lot of people agree that it should still be the government who will invest, but of course, there can be quite slow in terms of the investment. Okay, and because it costs a lot of money. For example, if you're gonna, like creating more Wi-Fi connections, like free Wi-Fi to the tourists, for example. For the second question, I could not hear well, but maybe we can talk later after this one. Now, I have another question from another participant asking whether Take Me Tour is guided by local. Is it safe for tourists? Um, yes, so far it's quite safe because for Take Me Tour or local alike, they would uh, create like a training. They create a training for local people on how to come up with the business model, how to take care of the guests, the food safety, and so on. So it is still quite safe, but mainly just a one-day tour. Okay, usually like local alike or Take Me Tour is only one-day tour. Another question in the chat box: is there any measure taken by Take Me Tour to ensure safety? Okay, so that's probably the same question. So if you're interested, you can search on Google. The first company is called Take Me Tour, and the second company is called Local Alike. Okay, they are very interesting. Um, okay, so all right. So thank you very much. I think that should be okay for my session. All right. So thank you very much for everybody. Now I would like to introduce you to the second speaker. Oh, by the way, I'm so nervous. I haven't presented a paper in a conference for a while because of COVID-19. So this is my first conference in a year. So, okay. So we have a second paper, and I apologize again if I pronounce your name wrong. This paper is called Virtual Tourism Approach: Bridging New Horizon in Melaka Heritage Tourism During Pandemic COVID-19 by Nara Haswani Mofusi. Okay, so if you're ready, please share. I would like to welcome you and please share your screen. Thank you very much. Okay, the second presenter. Are you here? Nara Haswani Mofusi. Mr. Presenter here. Okay. Okay, good morning. Oh, it's a video, right? Okay. It start already. We cannot hear the sound. Yeah. No sound. I think when you share the screen, you need to check the box that say that share the computer sound as well. I'm not sure. All right, so let's wait a bit. By the way, yesterday I got a second shot of AstraZeneca vaccine, so I'm fully vaccinated. But I don't know, I'm a little bit sleepy, so I think a lot of you, or most of you, probably already got your vaccine, already got vaccinated. Okay, so let's see for this presentation. We still cannot hear the sound. I think it needs to do something with the setting when you share. Or Amiru, can I skip this one and come back to this paper later? Is that okay? Okay. All right. So don't worry. We'll come back to this one. All right. So the third paper today is the next presenter is the customer satisfaction towards budget hotel service in Kelantan by Spherical Michael Alden. So welcome, and please share your screen. Yeah, you have 10 minutes.
Okay. Hi.
Thank you.
Hi, Doctor. Good morning. So I will share my slide to you. all. So, right. Okay. Very good morning to all. So I will present um, a study of a customer satisfaction towards budget hotel services in Kelantan. Okay. So for your information, especially Dr. Com and from other outside Malaysia, Kelantan is one of state in the Malaysia, east coast of Semenanjung, near to southern border of Thailand. Okay, Kelantan. Okay, and this is my presentation outline. So we start with introduction and with the conclusion. Okay. Okay, budget hotel. As we know, budget hotel is a basic provide a basic accommodation, simple accommodation such a bed, bath, or a simple other services like maybe like simple breakfast. Okay, there's maybe no swimming pool, no spa or other luxury services. Okay, it's just a basic a place we want to stay for a night or few nights to maybe we go to do our business business trip or just a short vacation, and we not really rely on the hotel itself. Okay, right. The introduction in just 2014. Okay, Malaysia announced that the total number of tourists arriving in Kelantan was 649 hundred for tourists come to the Kelantan. Okay, and the hotel industry, including the luxury to the budget hotel, is one of the industry that contribute and positively to the development of national economy and through employment opportunity, FMBA supply, and sell and tourist contribution. Meaning that this hotel contribute to the economy, to the national economy, because people come from everywhere, eh? And they stay in hotel, to do maybe the business trip or the vacation itself. Okay, then they spend the money, maybe for the food and beverages and the tourist attraction. So there will be income to the local community or the state itself. Okay. Um, Therefore, for this hotel to stand out, they need to understand or meet and exceed guest expectation, especially the budget hotel, through the offering the high quality service, because everybody what expectation for budget hotel may be low, but the budget hotels providers, service providers can provide, can can give more quality than the expectation, the expectation itself to the guests. Okay. All right. This is the problem statement. Basically, this budget hotel guests are from the budget tourists, neither from the foreign backpackers or local tourists with limited disposable income. They have maybe set for the budget or the money to spend on hotel may be limited, because they're more likely to spend on the other things like tourist attraction or place for tourists, maybe for the food itself. Okay. Domestic tourists are given limited attention. Therefore, in official promotion activity, despite of various socio-economic benefit and that generated from the hotel budget itself. Okay. Okay, then it argues that McQuitty in the paper that argues that certification plays an important role in marketing because it is predictor of purchase behavior, such as purchase intention, repeat purchase, and brand choice and switching behavior. And this behavior plays important role because this gives the opportunity to the hotel itself. Okay, when they give more services and more quality in the services itself, maybe it can give the repeat purchase from the guest itself, and there can be marketing tools from mouth to mouth to his their friends or their relative, so to purchase or to stay in their product or their hotel. Okay, and many studies have been carried out related to the services offered by hotel with regard to guest satisfaction and service quality. Right? However, the focus was just on 4 and 5-star hotel. This is a basic or a cliche mentality that this quality just provided by the 4 and 5-star hotel. And for the budget hotel, they don't give more services or value added services, so that it can satisfy the guest itself. Okay. Okay. The study, the research objective for this study is to identify the service quality factor that lead to customer satisfaction with budget hotel services. Okay. Okay, this the research originality and value. Okay, this study can contribute to another dimension to guest satisfaction who choose budget hotel. Okay, then this study also can expand the understanding of customer satisfaction towards the hotel industry, especially in budget hotel services. Okay, and lastly, help the hotel operator analyze and identify their problem in operation strategy. Okay, this is the literature review, and there are 9 literature reviews. So first is the budget hotel, and budget hotel are the cheaper accommodation compared to luxury for 4 and 5 stars hotel, and provide basic services and facilities. And the second one is service quality. If expectations are greater than performance, then perceived quality is less than satisfactory, and hence customer dissatisfaction occurs. Okay, then the third factor is the tangible. Okay, the fourth and reliability. The five in the sub literature review point is responsiveness. The sixth one is assurance, and 7 empathy, customer satisfaction, and service quality and customer satisfaction. Okay. Right. The next one is the methodology. Okay, they are collected through a survey method with a questionnaire instrument, and distributed to 140 respondents, namely guests staying in budget hotel within the Kota Baru area. Kota Baru area is a capital city of Kelantan. Okay, the question is comprised to 3 main sector: user, the service quality assessment, and the customer satisfaction. And the data collected from guests who stay at the budget hotel in Kelantan through Google Form because of the pandemic. So we use the Google Form that of physical distribution. Okay. From the finding, we have 140 respondents who have stayed in the budget hotel in Kelantan. Okay, the statistical analysis result confirm that a significant relationship between the all 5 factors. After this, I will explain the 5 factors. All the 5 factors tested have positive impact on the guest satisfaction, supporting from theory 1 to theory 5. Okay. Okay, this is the 5 factor that I just said just now. It's tangible, reliability, responsiveness, assurance, and empathy. Okay. Okay, from the statistic relation, they show positive relationship. So all the theory tested is positive response. Okay, implication of the study, and there are 2. First is practical, help the budget hotel analyze and identify their problems, knows the quality level which can be improved in terms of quality services combination. Okay, this study can help the hotel budget hotel itself to improve the value added, which what the customer needed, expect to have in their hotel, in the service or the food itself, maybe the ambience and the price itself also can be the value added things to improve their sales and their income to the hotel itself. In the theory part, this study can benefit who have an interest and focus on the hotel industry, who also benefit budget hotel organization to improve the quality of their services. Okay, so the conclusion of this study, the study found that Asian guests overall satisfaction more to value factor, which means the Asian guests expect the value more to human relation, meaning that more to what we call friendly relation, and maybe the the hospitality relationship also, whereas Western guests were more to service quality as the most important factor. So this study support the finding, the finding itself in this where empathy seems to receive the highest concern. Okay, that's all for my presentation.
Okay, thank you very much. And we are opening for question and answer. Anybody have a question, please? Okay, so I have a first question for you. First of all, thank you for your presentation. I would like to ask, when you say the budget hotel, how do you categorize the budget hotel, like in terms of number of rooms or like room rates or by location? You know, how do you specify the budget hotel?
Basically, budget hotel is where provide just a basic combination like beds only or a simple breakfast, or sometimes budget hotel not provide the breakfast itself, just combinate the basic night stay, just a night stay combination, whereby the guest just can stay for a sleep and for a bath, before go maybe the business trip, or maybe they go for a long trip from north to south. Basically, the budget hotel is located at the shop lot. In Malaysia, basically is located in shop lot. They maybe rent a shop lot, two-story shop lot. Then maybe the ground floor is for lobby, and the second floor for the room itself. So that's budget hotel in Kelantan, especially in Kelantan and generally in Malaysia.
Okay, thank you. Any other question? Okay, we have a question from Frank Hasley. Okay.
Yes, good morning, Mr. Spherical.
Good morning.
Yeah, I do agree with you when you said the budget hotel is an underserved market to be studied. Thank you for the presentation. I got two questions actually. I think your research is using the SurfQual model, is it?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. My first question. How did you get the guest email for the response?
We get the email from the hotel operators itself, because they have mostly of the hotel, they have the online booking. Maybe they don't have their own mostly they don't have the own platform, but they use use simple Google form or Google Sheet to collect the data or the information from the guest itself.
Oh, so they actually disclose the information to you?
Yes. for the study of the what we call for this study lah, for improve their own services.
All right. The second question, among the 7 factors in SERVQUAL model, which among of it dominance a factor in your study?
From the studies, empathy. The from the 5 factor that SERVQUAL factors that we use, the empathy factor is the most respond, and the high response from the respondent.
Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, thank you very much for the presenter and for the question. We will move on to the next presenter. And the next presenter is the paper called A Scoping Review of Blockchain Technology in Smart Tourism Research Publication, Evidence of Scopa's Database. And so this paper will be presented by Azila Asmi. Okay, so if you're ready, please share your screen and you can start now. Thank you. Okay, the next presenter. Okay.
Assalamualaikum and hello everyone. I'm Rashamshina binti Manisa. I'm going to present on behalf of my team members about a topic of a scoping review of blockchain technology in smart tourism research publications, evidence of Scopus database. Before I start, let me introduce my team members, which are Azrul Abdullah, Azila Azmi, and Muhammad Fadili Yahya. Let's go to the introduction. The tourism sector can be considered one of the vital economic growth sectors for many countries worldwide. Numerous previous studies have claimed this notion as the tourism sector, resulting in enormous GDP, particularly as a source of wealth. However, the development and massive demand in the tourism trend have recently declined due to the coronavirus outbreak in 2020. The COVID-19 pandemic has led to global lockdown, which has significantly impacted consumer behavior. It can also be observed that some behavioral changes before the outbreak have accelerated, diminished, or ended. New consumer habits and expectations have become apparent. Discretionary spending has suffered, and spending trends have altered. In this regard, understanding and responding to changes in consumer behavior will be critical to the recovery of the tourism industry in the future. Organizations must rethink the client experience and re-engage with clients to build and maintain trust. At the same time, they also need to improve their operational agility to navigate the uncertainties of doing business in a world riddled by pandemic that requires trust and confidence. According to several early reports and research studies, the tourism industry needs to be fueled by the evolution of technologies. The use of new technologies such as blockchain can give rise to a connected generations of travelers and sustain the operations of the tourism industry. Despite the emerging technological phenomenon used in smart tourism, there has been little research on BCT in smart tourism, or ST. Specifically, this involves the extent of its discipline direction and the most research streams and efforts. Understanding the research works on how blockchain technology has been applied to the ST domain is important because it may reflect on the big picture that can be clarified the current scope, characteristics, and potential of interest of research. Therefore, this study seeks to fill this gap by addressing 3 main research questions. Number 1, how has research on blockchain technology progressed in smart tourism literature? Number 2, what is known by the focus areas of BCT research related to ST? Number 3, What are potential focus areas that would be the subject of future research? Using the scoping review approach, the interest of this study contributes to the tourism academic community by identifying the papers published to date and exploring their focus research areas. This study can be valuable references to initial researchers who have just begun searching and understanding BCT-related research publications in the smart tourism context. Besides, it can also indirectly provide some insights to universities researchers, policymakers, research directors, and administrators on the scope of research publications in this area. Now we go to the methodology. This study used a systematic approach to review the published literature and undertook a scoping review as the best method to map the evidence of blockchain technology research trends in the smart tourism domain over the recent decade. Now let's go to the process for searching and selecting relevant studies. The data in this study were extracted on 15th of May 2021 using the keywords applied to search related article publications from the Scopus database, that is, including 4 sections: title, abstract, author keywords, and keyword plus. Let's go to the finding and discussion. Concerning the research publication trend of BCT in smart tourism, an analysis was conducted on the routinization of Scopus database 2021. Panel A of Table 3.1.1 presents the search results of document type related to blockchain technology in smart tourism. It was found that there was a very low number of research publications related to this topic. However, this small number of publications was expected since BCT has been a relatively new area of research and has been most strongly associated with science and technology. Only 11 different documents were found, and the publications in the area began in 2019, where only 3 early publications were found. Moreover, these 11 documents included 5 journal articles, 1 book chapter, and 5 proceedings papers. It should be noted that there was also articles related to this topic that were not published in the tourism domain journals but were ranked in quartiles too. However, it can be observed that the Asia Pacific Journal of Tourism Research and Journal of Contemporary Hospitality Management were among the leading journals. It can be perceived that research publications on this area were still inadequate and warrant more future studies to initiate a new context of smart tourism in blockchain technology perspectives. Table 3.1.2 summarizes the publications titles of 10 articles, excluding 1 chapter in the book that appeared in the blockchain technology database in smart tourism. This also includes the subjects area, number of citations, and authors. From the table also, it can be observed that the highest number of publication documents were dominated by computer science discipline, then followed by business, management and accounting, and social science. Table 3.2.1 exhibits the type of research methods or designs applied in the journal articles and conference papers. Overall, it can be observed that there are more conceptual papers compared to empirical, applied or experiment studies that have been published related to BCT in ST context. Now, let's go to potential research focuses that subject for future research towards blockchain technology in smart tourism. This study visualized several potential focus areas that can be subjected to further argument. First, it is urged for more future studies related to BCT in the disciplines of tourism management because early studies only put substantial effort into conceptualizing and defining the usage of BCT in the context of the ST framework. While many of the papers have claimed BCT can potentially affect the ST ecosystem, none of the existing paper discusses the disadvantages of digitalization and the increase in automatization affecting the jobs in the tourism industry. It is believed that the issues need to be explored further using critical theories and approaches. This is because the impact of BCT on choices and preferences, human resource, and the economy of future need to be observed by the tourism industry players since the tourism sector is one of the primary vehicles for economic growth. Second, another aspect that could be considered in the future study is supporting the BCT framework in ST. The existing research has exhibited relatively little anchoring theory. Therefore, this study argues that future research should try to apply different theoretical perspectives to understand better the impact and focus of BCT change in the ST context. Third, this study perceived that tourism education, particularly at universities, could be another area of future studies. Research has been lacking on the current progress in this field, since there have been no papers on the tourism education domain, specifically in BCT and ST context. There may be a need to re-evaluate tourism curricula given the potential impact of BCT and ST on the tourism industry. As for the conclusion, this study investigated the existing academic publications in smart tourism related to the BCT context based on the Scopus database until May 2021. Only 11 publications papers were found related to BCT in the ST context, and many of these papers were conceptual. All these papers attempted to highlight the key characteristics of BCT and making propositions in conjunction with the smart tourism destination or city framework. There are few limitations of this study. Number one, this study only considered the Scopus database to analyze the research publications in BCT in the ST context and could restrict some good relevant articles that have not been indexed. Number two, the keywords used in the search, which perhaps were not exhaustive, although great care was taken to include the most relevant terms by emailing 30 experts to validate the search. Number three, a refined search string of blockchain technology within smart tourism and smart tourism destination context made the search so narrow that the result may have overlooked potential studies regarding BCT study. Number four, this study only focused on scoping review by studying only BCT documents within the Scopus database and excluding other documents that were not classified as articles and preceding papers like reviews, book reviews, and so forth. Now I end my presentation. Thank you.
Okay, so that's a very interesting paper on blockchain technology, and I believe that has a lot of implication for the tourism industry, especially smart tourism. So thank you for that presentation. So I wonder how are we going to do the Q&A. So maybe I ask my co-chair. Do we need to do Q&A? Okay, so we don't have to do Q&A for this paper. All right. Thank you very much. So we move on to the another paper before we come back to the second paper. Okay, so next one, very interesting title. Are we there yet? User interface elements in tourism mobile app. Very interesting title by Kairu Yusri's summary. Again, apologize if I pronounce your name wrong. Okay, so the next presenter, if you're ready, please share your screen and you have 10 minutes to talk. Thank you. Sir, I think you have to turn on your microphone.
Okay. Hello.
Okay, we can hear now. Yeah. Hello.
Can you see my screen?
Not yet. We can see you.
Okay.
Yeah.
I have before start. Can you change the change layout to the spotlight, please? Everybody can change the layout to spotlight. No, wait. I change my. Okay, because using the cannot see that one. Can?
We see your face, but not your screen. Yeah.
Okay, don't worry. Wait. Okay, we share my screen now. Okay. Okay, can see now?
It's coming. Yes, we can see your screen now. Thank you.
Okay. Hello, good morning. Okay, our title is Are We There Yet for User Interface Element in Tourism Mobile Application. Okay, let's see. Okay, my name is Khairul Yusri bin Zamri. So I'm from Faculty of Creative Industry, Utah, with my co-author Nor Aliyah Mansour from Faculty of Hospitality, Tourism and Wellness, and Rizal Niyani Abdul Razak from Faculty of Business and Finance, Utah. So today I will talk about the element, user interface element in tourism mobile apps. So this is our roots for this morning. Is first we talk about overview, and then after that method, and then discussion, and then conclusion. Okay, for overview, aim of this study is to examine the Malaysia government related Destination Management Organizations, or DMO, tourism application. And then our aims, number 2, is understanding and evaluating UI element for existing tourism mobile application. And number 3 is a purpose a design guideline for future tourism. Why? So what is the problem when why we need to evaluate the user interface in apps? Okay, because the problem now is about tourism activity has been put on hold due to the COVID-19, so globally and locally. So we cannot deny about this one. And a return to domestic travel with follow-ons of the movement control, MCO, and then every entire globally. So the effect with the COVID. So same goes to tourism industry as well. So, okay, why UI? Okay, why is user interface? Okay, so based on the Vetterni and Booker 1990, Chong et al. 2004, Marcionini 1997. UI is one of a fundamental point of HCI and communication in any device between the user and application and environment. So that's why we need to keep it important for to develop the to design user interface. As I said by I cite by from Prof. Com said earlier, it's about canvas tourism or whatever. So but their business model. So we still need the HCI, we still need user interface to develop. So because the user interface is about the communication between the application, okay, business model. We have a business model, but how we connect with the user. So that's mean we call it in the term is a user experience. Okay, and then another based on the Kim, okay, Kim 2011, okay, Kim said UI is play a vital role in guiding the user focus on object and subject continually for any application. So this is another evidence that why we consider and focus more to UI, user interface. And Lee and Bensat as well, okay, they said every UI development needs high consistent interaction. So that's why we have experience to play with any kind of application in our phone, in our tablet, in our application system, whatever, Windows or iOS. Okay, so every UI is developed need high consistent. We can see some application that doesn't have a interaction, that doesn't have a iconic design. Okay, they just put just what they want to do. They just okay, I have an idea. We have an idea. Come, we do a application, but they didn't care about, they didn't concern about UI development. So in this paper, that's why we try to aim. Okay, we try to look at the user interface based on the mobile application. And then Schneiderman, father for the 8 golden rules of user interface, said designing an efficient UI begins with understanding the user needs and interaction. Okay, everybody can develop application, can develop any system, but okay, to consider concern about the UI is not in they're taking into consideration. They're more just beginning, okay, we want to develop this one, we want to develop this one. But who wants to go in to develop UI? Who wants to take care about the UI? Because UI is related with the user experience. So this is based on the research that we found. And then they have a numerous academic research on UI. Okay, they have some lot of guidelines, theory, and then publication. Okay, this is among of the is a user interface design for e-learning, 2003 by Faghi et al. Latest one is by Dutra, building guideline for UNESCO World Heritage Site apps. The Golden 8 rules, Schneiderman and Pleasant, additional guideline, and then I am also in as a 10 user interface element for mobile learning application development. This is 2015. Okay, how about in the tourism? Okay, we found they have 5 potential papers. Okay, for tourism, where they talk about user experience and interface design. Okay, from Lily and Penying 2018, they more focus on about user experience based urban tourism application interface design, and then the latest one is a bridging tourism architecture and sustainability design and development from Martin et al. But this is based more in the Portugal application. So based on all this literature review, all the research, what we have done, so that's why it's most important. We need to think about user interface before we produce the system. Okay, so the method that we use in our study, okay, we use a human-centered design approach, ISO 1999, and then together with the HCD classification model by Maguire. They have 3 stages out of 6 that we use. Okay, 6 stages they have in the human-centered design. Number 1 is planning and scoping, context of use, and then requirement, and then design, evaluation, and meet requirements. So only 3 stages is a planning and scoping, context of use, and requirement that we will approach for this study. So the rest are stage 4, 5, 6. Okay, we will talk in our journal, in the next journal or next conference. Okay, so stage 1 is identify 5 tourism app based on Malaysian government related, and then number 2, stage 2 is analyze, and then stage 3 is identify relation and effectiveness of UI. Okay, stage 1. Okay, based on the keyword that we use in the App Store and Marketplace, Android App Store is from iOS, Tourism Malaysia or Visit Malaysia. So they have more than 10 application tourism based on the keyword that Tourism Malaysia and Visit Malaysia, and then so based on they have more than application from App Store and Market Store. So only the one we just selected 5 because these 5 they have both in the App Store and the marketplace as well, and then it's based on the government related tourism application. So this is the application that we selected. Okay, we have one is a destination Johor. Okay, the interface here, they quite in every quite nice interface. Okay, very friendly. And then the Malacca access. Okay, another good interface, and then another good interactivity and user friendly. And then we have a Sarawak more to discover, quite nice element as well. And then visit Pahang, and then the last one is destination Malacca. So this is 5 that we choose. Okay. And then in stage 2, so we analyze all the 5 apps based on 10 user interface elements and using Likert scale 1 to 5. Okay, elements that we analyze based on the connectivity, simplicity, directional, informative, interactivity, user friendliness, comprehensiveness, continuity, personalization, and internal. So this is the result from all the analyzing apps. Okay, this is the marking. Okay, it's a user interface number 1 until number 10. So this is a Likert scale 0 to 5, and then this is the number 1 user interface destination Johor score 4, and then the rest majority they have a score 4. Okay, and then but we are lack in the number 9. Number 10, sorry. Number 10 is about internal and personalization. Not all the application they have for personalization. Personalization means it's more to personalization is more to experience. User can control the ability to impact the interface. So we can in the easy word, we can customize what we want in our application. Like a Facebook, we can customize if we want dark theme or whatever. But Facebook have a limited customization. But this application, the tourism application that we analyze is a little bit friendly, but it's not enough for the user experience. Okay. And then also stage 3. Okay, this is a analysis result. Okay, average rating for based on apps. Okay, average rating for destination Johor, that's called 4.1, Malacca access 3.7, Sarawak 4, visit Pahang 3.7, and destination Malacca 2.9. Okay, because destination Malacca the mode score under 4 rating. So that's why the destination Malacca is quite not user friendly, and then the personalization and internal they have when we play our the apps, okay, on our mobile, okay, so sometimes they have a error, they have error, and then the connectivity is down, and then the apps cannot run more than it's not a less of it's not a user friendly. We can say about that one. It's not more than just simple one, and then just the information. So that we judge based on they have elements as we talked previously. Okay, and then average percentage is 58% above. Okay, so 58% all the apps, tourism app based on the DMO or all five. We can say is all average percentage at 50%, and then it's a connect with the interface elements with the guideline that we analyze. And then the minimum rating is a 2. Destination is more to what we call it, the internal problem. Internal, that's mean that they have an error when we try to use, and okay, that's the problem. Okay, and then we move to the discussion. Okay, based on the analysis that we have, okay, we found that all the user interface element have a relationship with the apps. Okay, and then the focus on user experience needs more, such as directional, user friendliness, personalization, and internal. And an application must be developed based on both the capabilities of the application as well as the device capabilities, internal elements. So some application, okay, they have like a Malacca, destination Malacca, okay, they're not developed based on the capabilities the application. They just develop, maybe we're not sure, we are not sure why they develop on kind that way. Maybe the budget, or maybe about they have a lot of factor. Maybe the budget, maybe about the developer or designer, something like that. So as we mentioned earlier, okay, we need to taking about this seriously about the UI development, because that you can engage the user experience. So that's why based on our analysis, this analysis, okay, we can see the user experience. We need to taking into consideration important role for the next development. Okay, and then this research, these studies as well, they have a 3 implication. One is a theoretical implication, practical implication, and social implication. Okay, for theoretical implication, the guideline in a good UI element for tourism mobile apps will be proposed based on the 10 UI elements. So based on the user interface, 10 user interface element, so we can conclude, okay, we can use these elements, UI, user interface element, to develop a good UI for tourism mobile apps, which is we connect and relation with the user experience in future. Okay, for practical implication, this paper propose UI element of DMO tourism mobile apps to meet the current travel needs and future of safe travel, interborder rules and restrictions, travelers, vaccination status, and everything. So since we're in the COVID era now, so this is quite important. We have travel rules, restriction, vaccination status, or whatever. So globally and locally. So maybe in the future we can integrate, but looking forward with the new user interface element in tourism application. And then for social implication, efforts to improve accessibility and elderly friendly features such as the text to speech features, okay, and then it's also recommended that the DMO mobile apps have the ability to display malls, restaurant, and retail operation hours. Tourism is a tourism we can divide to a tourist guide, we can divide into two. Maybe it's a local tourist guide, or and then another one is a company tourist guide. So maybe in the future, okay, and then real time location based, because from five application that we downloaded, only 2 application have a real time location based. Okay, maybe we can connect with the augmented reality for next development. Okay, and then the last one is about conclusion. We can conclude about in our study, UI elements can contributing to efficiency and relationship in the tourism mobile apps process. is very crucial. Investment in the UI design must be emphasized regularly with through study and rigorous revolution to ensure user engagement and understand the activity and objective. And empirical study, okay, we suggest an empirical study of UX and UI will form better results, okay, in the tourism environment, and will make a significant contribution to research and the community via a design thinking approach. So for the next research, we suggest an empirical study regarding about the UX, user experience, and connect with the UI, user interface, using the design thinking approach. Okay, design thinking approach is one of the model when we develop any system, we need to think because they have a 5 process for design thinking. Okay, from the base, from the introduction until the prototyping and the evaluation. So that's our conclusion. Okay, and then the last one, this is our reference, and then thank you. So any question?
Okay, thank you very much for your presentation. Very interesting. Okay, now we're open for question and answer. Anybody have questions? While we're waiting for a question, maybe I would like to ask the presenter.
Yes, Ken.
Are we there yet?
Yes, not yet.
This is from your title.
Yeah,
So,
no.
in your opinion, are we there yet in terms of UI for tourism?
Yeah. Pardon?
Are we there yet? Yeah.
To be honest, not yet. Yeah, to be honest, from our perspective, we're not ready yet. Since they have a lot of what we call it, the argument for interface design. The information, yes, the content, okay, the what we call it, but that's only one-way communication. Okay, we're looking about the application that can more user friendliness and more customization from us because we are user. For me, I'm a developer and I'm a user as well. So of course, when we use the application, we want the good thing. Okay, they can guide us like your business canvas BCA. Okay, your business model. Okay, BCM. Sorry, it's quite good. Okay, but in term, is it we can connect with the user or not? When we use that model, is it we consider about the user experience or interface after that or not? Because now we're looking for we live in the digital era. IR4, we're talking about IR4, we're talking about IoT, and then but we have a lot of place. Let's say like Thailand, we have Phuket, we have Hat Yai, we have everything, and Malaysia as well. They have a lot of beach, we have a lot of good restaurant, but how we want to engage with the user. Now is the time we think about the experience from tourist experience. We can't call it is a tourist experience, okay, rather than user experience. So we focus on tourist experience and we focus about the interface as well. So this, if we merge together, connect with together, we can develop one application that can like me. Okay, I can go now in the Hat Yai. Okay, so maybe with the apps that the Thailand provide, we can virtually go there, okay, using the apps. Okay, then, wow, this is quite good, quite nice, and whatever. We can feel like that. So this is what we're looking at in the IR4. Maybe we will move to IR5 for next 2 years, next 3 years. Okay, so basically, to answer your question, half yes, half no.
Okay, but we are getting there.
Yeah,
All right.
getting there.
All right. Thank you very much. Okay. Anybody have a question? Yes. We have a question from Frank Hasley.
Oh yes. Good morning, Mr. Khairul.
Morning.
Yeah, it's very interesting research. It's quite interactive as well, and congratulations also to Ms. Rizal Niani,
Thank
your
you.
co-author. Well, just out of my curiosity, maybe based on your expertise, to run a friendly apps, what is the minimum internet speed required to have a good user interface?
Okay. To be honest, based on my experience to develop to design user interface, okay, we don't have any minimum requirement. But as long they can more they can connect with the data and then the network as well. Okay, such as if we live in the Wi-Fi is okay, but now in certain areas in Malaysia, for example, they have a 4G, 3G, or whatever. So before we develop any user interface, we need to. That's why we need to think about user experience first. We need to discuss. We need to evaluate. We need to understanding what user needs. Okay, some of user they don't care about interface. Okay, that this is based on my research for previous conference in previous conference about regarding about games design, because I'm teaching the game. So it's more about the user only care about they can sort it out their tasks or finish their tasks in easy way. So we need to think about easy user interface. Okay, let's say like Facebook consider as a heavy interface as well. The most best interface is like a Google. Okay, if you experience with the Google Classroom, it's quite a nice interface. It's simple one. So that's no requirement, because we live in the digital revolution. Okay, I'm very pretty sure the focus on the interface is more to understanding, like Google Meet now. Okay, this is a more is a quite easy interface. Okay, we have a button, this one we have a right side, we have a chat, we can hide and we can see the participant. So same goes to the tourism application. Okay, when we want to develop, that's why in the next study we need to understanding the user first. Any product about digital product or system or whatever, non-digital or digital, we need to consider, we need to concern about user experience before we develop. Okay, not us, because majority in product in the market right now, they didn't focus about the user experience. So that's why we can see some interface like this one, some interface like A design, B design, C design. So when we try to use the experience from us is they have a lot of recommendation, they have a lot of review and feedback regarding about the why it's too slow. Because if we use a heavy design, if you use a heavy image, the connection, the network and the connection will drop the connection. So that's thing that's why when we develop, like, for example, from my experience, we need to have both communication for developer and then the user experience design as well. So is it answer your question, Hazli?
Yes, thank you very much.
Welcome.
Okay, thank you. Any other questions? We have time for one more questions. Okay, if not, then thank you very much for your presentation. Very interesting topic. All right, so we are getting back to our second paper on virtual tourism approach, bridging new horizon in Melaka heritage tourism during pandemic COVID-19. So I think this is the video presentation. So Amirul, if you can please show us the video. Thank you. Okay, we can see the screen.
Greetings to panelists.
Okay,
before
we
I
can
start
hear
my
it now. Thank you.
presentation, I would like to express my gratitude to the IJCHT-21 organizers and committee members for this given opportunity. My name is Nadra Hazwani binti Muhammad Fuzi, and I'll be presenting a paper of virtual tourism approach, bridging new horizon in Malacca heritage tourism during pandemic COVID-19. This paper has been done in together with the efforts of other members, Nur Aida Azhar, Muhammad Iqmal Hakimi Muhammad Ali, and with the guidance of Encik Muhammad Daim Darsan. COVID-19 or coronavirus outbreak has significantly affected the nation and the world in economic and living. Tourism industry is a major industry affected due to the Movement Control Order (MCO) that is imposed globally, forcing the international and national borders closed, and Malaysia is not excluded from the list. For a clear explanation on why this paper is based on virtual tourism, we refer to the study setting on choosing Malacca, because Malacca has always been the most visited tourism destination due to its uniqueness of tangible and intangible heritage tourism. Unfortunately, the outbreak has caused a tremendous loss in tourist numbers, affecting the state's tourist activities, at once the state tourism revenues. In further elaboration to this study focus area, which is heritage, is because heritage and tourism are much more related to one another and seems can bring profit and generate income for the industry. However, this approach was also seen to bring harm at the heritage sites, which is in the context is Malacca. Henceforth, this study is to focus on virtual tourism in Malacca and its potential as a savior to face any unprecedented circumstances such as environmental and social exploitation of heritage sites, and especially as a media mechanism during this COVID-19 outbreak on providing a real-world experience through its 360 degrees video. Furthermore, the study aims to extend the scope of virtual tourism application towards Malacca heritage product and the relationship between virtual tourism attributes and electronic word of mouth. There are three objectives preserved in this study, which are to identify virtual tourism attributes towards Malacca heritage tourism products, to investigate the best dimension of virtual tourism towards the Malacca heritage tourism products, and to examine the interrelated of virtual tourism approach towards the electronic word of mouth. Moving forward to literature review, in this research, there are three components of technologies that has been carefully selected out of all available technology in the market and chosen based on the familiarity of respondents to find the answer for the first research objectives, namely virtual reality, augmented reality, and also artificial intelligence that is adapted by several scholars as mentioned in the framework. Before the further ado, virtual tourism can be referred to the envisions of the nature of different realities of worlds in which visitors can travel without their bodies on its authenticity and characteristics than the actual destination, and this virtual tourism has already been implemented in Malacca as such modern town Malacca Social and Legacy Walk. Virtual reality, in a simple sentence, is an interactive visualization elements and immersion into a media format type of tool such as the VR headset that could help tourism marketers in integrating multimedia and creating exceptional experiences in response to the increasing trend of experiential marketing, likewise utilized by Tourism Ireland as part of the promotional materials. Augmented reality, in the other hand, is the experiences given by the gadget present nowadays, where it provides an immersive computer-based technology that can be used to enable scholars and educators of traditional organizations such as structures, artifacts, and community to achieve visual restoration that can be seen utilized by the Hang Tuah Center or museum. Meanwhile, artificial intelligence is the simulation of processes of human intelligence that enables computer systems to learn from experience automatically and perform human-like tasks to increase the effectiveness of everyday tasks such as robotic system, and for example, airports for cleaning robotic system or food serving robotic system in restaurant. Intangible elements focused in Malacca heritage tourism products is highlighted in this study due to the authenticity that Malacca still possesses in terms of heritage and culture, and its uniqueness of township in continuing and attracting travelers to explore Malacca, as it is well known listed under the World Heritage Sites by UNESCO. The key components that are highlighted in this research as such: performing arts, custom and culture, oral tradition, and fine art. Moving along to electronic word of mouth or e-worm, where e-worm communication has gotten enormous attention as lately for various reasons. Many researchers have upheld the idea that positive e-worm stands to improve the probability of purchasing tourism products. According to Muhammad Abu Bakar 2016, an immense measure of travel industry research has supported that e-worm can impact travel intention as well. So the method used in conducting this research was Google Form with the content of instrument of 4 sections developed with 3 subsections under section 2 of Likert skill in bilingual language. Sampling technique was managed in the study, referring to Umar Sekaran 2003 that says 384 is the perfect numbers for a population of 1 million, and it is not only based on the locality itself, and however, due to the circumstances and limitations faced by researchers, the data that were gathered were only from 205 respondents. Reliability coefficient was used as measurement determining the item's accuracy despite of descriptive analysis, Pearson correlation, and simple linear regression utilization for clearer clarification and understanding of the data, together with the strength and direction possessed between relationships over the medium of SSPS integrated data. Over the research conducted, we found that this study was dominated by female with 51.4%, and it is also found that the age lists were from 19 to 29 with 81.9% of it, and 82.4% of them were single and held student status, which also explained on the recorded percentage of only 27.9% of two members working in a family. The respondents were majority Malaysian with 99% of it, which 89.3% of them have experienced visiting Malacca before and after the outbreak. Most importantly, we gathered 69.3% of the respondents on their willingness to travel virtually signifies the relevancy of this research study. The acceptance of people toward the utilization of virtual reality technology as the mediator in the midst of COVID-19 outbreak was identified by using the descriptive analysis, coefficient correlation, and linear regression, where all attributes illustrate significantly positive relationships between 0 to 1 value. Simple linear regression was employed upon testing the hypothesis relationship between virtual tourism and electronic word of mouth, and the result displayed a positive relation. Henceforth, this study proved the relevancy of implementing virtual tourism, where the emergence of virtual reality technologies is capable of providing tourism with numerous options to introduce and grow virtual experiences for visitors that could supplant actual travel. This study also nailed the objectives of initial research, where the virtual tourism attributes on Malacca heritage tourism products are virtual reality, augmented reality, and artificial intelligence, which supported by the academicians on the capabilities on supporting the tourism sector realistically and the ability of imitating human mental processes and thought features, with each preview 0.484, 0.692, and 0.702 correlation value. The best dimension of virtual tourism towards Malacca heritage tourism product is artificial intelligence with 0.702 significant value in Pearson correlation. AI utilization has been upsurged even long before the outbreak, as consumer online support where it released human workforce utilization, and respondents perceive that AI is more convenient to use, helps decisions to be made quickly and suit their needs, and provide a contactless communication. The relationship between virtual tourism approach and e-home intention correlate positively, where virtual tourism product influences e-home at once supported the hypothesis of this study. Therefore, artificial intelligence is considered suited the most for conducting virtual tourism, as the utilization of robotics could lead to significant changes in employment, operations, and service quality in the industry, despite of clear efficiency and financial benefits. On the other side, e-home has become a crucial option for travelers and explorers to seek for truthfulness at once influence travelers' purpose. Additionally, positive e-home is generally favorable for travel industry purchases, and the positive implementation of this study does not only stop on helping the tourism economic, but also lay out the second chance or second hope of hygienic tourism due to social distancing or contactless connectivity. Thank you.
Okay. Okay, so I think we have covered all the 5 papers. So as this is the video presentation, so we would not have Q&A. But before we finish, anybody would like to say anything or comments on or anything? I guess the timing is quite good. It's 10 a.m. here in Thailand, so it's probably 11 in Malaysia. So yeah, I think we did a good timing. So anything else? Okay, so our co-chair mentioned that all presenters are invited for closing ceremony tomorrow. So please make sure you join us. You know, there you can join from Facebook Live or YouTube live channel. All right. Okay, so if no other question, then thank you very much for everybody for joining this session. And I think we have this quite a productive session this morning, and we have learned a lot about, you know, smart tourism technology, blockchain, you know, AI, or, you know, how technology can be used to enhance the customer experience. Okay, so I think that's a wrap up for our session today. Again, this is the parallel session to tourism in the era of this of industrial revolution. Okay, so I would like to thank my co-chair Amiru, Hakim Sukifi, and I'd like to thank all the presenters today. So thank you very much, and have a good day. And please don't forget to join the closing ceremony later. Sure. Amiru would like to play a video teaser so for the closing. Okay, so please don't go yet. Our co-chair would like to share a quick video. We cannot hear the sound. Yeah, we're not sure if there's any sound. Wow, that's very interesting. A lot of prizes, and so I think a lot of us could not wait to see who's going to be the winner. So hopefully, please don't forget to join the closing ceremony. All right. Okay, so thank you, the co-chair, and thank you all the presenters today. We have learned a lot. Again, thank you very much, and I think we can close the session we can close this session. Okay. All right. We'll see you all in the closing ceremony. Thank you very much. Goodbye.